Vice Mayor Lorena Delgadillo,
Present.
Councilmember Jesus Roldán,
Present.
Councilmember Luis Galindo,
Present.
Councilmember Miguel Villalpando,
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo, Councilmember Marta Gonzalez,
Present.
Vice Mayor have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to move on to call to the public.
Charles Gutierrez.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. My name is Charles Gutierrez, Public Works Director, City of Somerton. The City of Somerton was established in 1890. 87 years later, an employee started work as a high school graduate and began a career of service with Somerton, which at that time had approximately 5,000 residents. His career timeline began April 15th, 1985. He started as a utility line employee. Straight out of high school, his responsibilities were picking up garbage the old-fashioned way. He assisted in the water, sewer, and parking infrastructure. In 1997, he was promoted to Utility 2, where he still worked with the Public Works and contributed to various other city services. In 2000, he was promoted to Supervisor, which he began his great leadership and management responsibilities within Public Works. In 2006, Mr. Leo O'Malley became the Chief Operator for the Water Division, overseeing the operation and maintenance of the city's water system. Well, folks, next week, April 15th, marks 40 years of service and a milestone achievement for Mr. Leo O'Malley and the City of Somerton. That sets a record for the longest serving employee with the City of Somerton. And it is Mr. Leo O'Malley who I'm recognizing tonight.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you, Charles, Louis, Carmen. Thank you very much for this recognition. I wasn't expecting this. I would have brought a tuxedo. No, thank you. Everybody knows how old I am now. It's been a great honor to serve the city for so many years. I grew up in Somerton. I want to give something back to the community. And this is the way I do it, by staying here and helping out with the water the best I can. And I love this job, and thank you for allowing me to serve. So thank you, thank the residents and the U.S. Consul help me work here and allow me to serve the city. Thank you very much. Thank you.
See? And same hat and same hairstyle.
Aquí enfrente. Ajá. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Everyone smile. 1, 2, 3. Can I just go with Public Works?
Yes.
Can I get going with Public Works? Anybody present for Public Works? Okay, everyone in? Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. And then one more. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you,
Leo, you have any last, you're not leaving yet, but any words to say, Leo? Any last words for tonight?
Well, it was a surprise, but thank you very much. I didn't expect this, It's been an honor for me to serve all these years here with the city. I just came on board. I said, I'll work for a few days and out of here 40 years later. I'm here. I just stopped by to visit the plants and somebody locked the door on me. So I'm there.
Pay your water bill back?
Yes. But thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Congratulations.
Council like to say any words? You guys want to say anything?
Well, 40 years, Leo. I think it's a life. It's spend more time there than probably with your family. But I think you're well respected by your employees, by your peers, by us council. I know I worked for city before, and even though I'm still working, but anytime, we need help, we call you, and you're always in a good attitude and always helping others. I'm pretty sure you do the same to our citizens. So thank you very much for your service, and I hope it's another 40 years here in the city. Thank you, Leo.
I too want to thank you, Leo, for your dedication. It doesn't go unnoticed. And as a resident myself, and on behalf of my parents as well, I remember when my dad was alive and something would happen at the house, and the first person he would always say is, "You need to call Leo." And I'm like, "No, Dad, we need to call the city." And no, you find Leo and he'll come, and you would always come. And so, on behalf of my parents, I want to thank you. My mom now, she even herself is like, "You need to call Leo." "No, we'll call Charles." And then, we'll go from there and he'll send someone, and no, Leo fix it. So Leo will fix it. And I thank you on behalf of my parents and my family, and of course, the community and the city of Somerton for your undoubtedly dedication. And thank you for your service. Anybody else?
Just as to repeat what Vice Mayor and Councilmember Roldan said, thank you for your service, Leo. I can remember since back in the days, seeing you around the city. I'm not gonna say how old I am either. But no, your work does not go unnoticed, and we want to thank you for your service.
Same thing, Leo. Thank you for your service. And I was doing the math, and you still beat me by a couple of years. You're older than me. I know you've been here 40 years, but I bet the last 3 years have been the busiest with Alo. And from me, you have been going to my house for over 4 times in over a month. So thank you for your service. And it was on a weekend. Whoever was on call wasn't available at the moment. I think you told your wife too, I have to go work, and thank you to your wife too, because she's been putting up with all this for 40 years, and it's a commitment of both of you. So thank you to both of you.
Thank you. Let's move on to 5.1, the proclamation National Library Week.
Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore new ideas and be drawn to new possibilities. Whereas libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, proclaim April 6th to the 12th, 2025 as National Library Week. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways that the library draws us together as a community.
Thank you. And I believe there's someone here from the library. You want to come forward so we can take a picture?
Salvador Vera.
And then can I just have everyone one step to the right? Mhm. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We would like to invite everyone to visit our local library in Somerton. We're going to have a special event on April 26th. It's going to be Dia del Niño, Day of the Child. And we're going to leave some flyers here at the desk. So if you guys are more welcome to grab one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I want to thank James for helping us with this big event.
Thank you. 5.2 Autism Awareness Month proclamation.
Whereas autism, the fastest growing development disability in the United States, affecting more than 3 million people, is an urgent public health crisis that demands a national, state, and local response. And whereas autism is a result of a neurological disorder that affects the normal functioning of the human brain and can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or socioeconomic background. And whereas symptoms and characteristics of autism may present themselves in a variety of combinations and can result in significant lifelong impairment of an individual's ability to learn, develop healthy interactive behaviors, understand verbal as well as nonverbal communication. And whereas as the effort to address autism continues, doctors, therapists, and educators can help persons with autism overcome or adjust to its challenges and provide early, accurate diagnosis and the resulting appropriate education, intervention, and therapy that are vital to future growth and development. And whereas all are encouraged to ensure that persons living with autism have access to the lifelong care and services needed to pursue the full measure of personal happiness and achieve their greatest potential. And whereas the City of Somerton is honored to take part in the annual observance of Autism Awareness Month in the hope that it will lead to a better understanding of this disorder. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Autism Awareness Month and join the nation and other local governments in recognizing April and Autism Awareness Month as a symbol of our commitment to creating a culture of disability awareness and inclusion for all members of our community.
Thank you. And we have our Exceptional Student Service Director, Ms. Elizabeth Garza here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor and members of the Somerton City Council for this proclamation recognizing April as Autism Awareness Month. I'm Elizabeth Garza, ESS Director for Somerton School District, and I'm honored to accept this on behalf of our students with autism, their families, our educators, and the broader autism community of Somerton. I'd like to acknowledge some special guests. I have Kian Santana and his parents, Antonio and Dania Santana, up there. I have Aria Jones and her parents, James and Alexandra Jones. These families represent the strength, love, and dedication that define our autism community. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Today, 1 in 36 children in the US is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, a condition that shapes how individuals experience the world. Each person with autism brings unique strengths and perspectives. And at Somerton School District, we are committed to creating an inclusive environment where everybody can thrive. This proclamation is more than symbolic. It shows our city's commitment to acceptance and meaningful support for individuals with autism. Our community is strongest when everyone belongs. During Autism Awareness Month, I encourage all Somerton residents to learn more about autism, practice inclusion, and remember that small acts of understanding can really, really make a difference. On behalf of Somerton School District, thank you for your support in building a more inclusive community for everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to invite the parents and you for a picture, the children.
Ready? One. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everyone's like, good, good, good. 1, 2, 3. Right here, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, right here. Cheese. Aria, right here, Laria. Okay, good. Thank you.
Our next one, 5.3, is fair housing.
Whereas Civil Rights Act of 1968, commonly known as the Federal Fair Housing Act and the Fair Housing Amendment Act of 1988, prohibit discrimination in the sale, rental, leasing, and financing of housing or land to be used for the construction of housing or in the provision of brokerage services on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. And whereas the 1968 and 1988 Federal Fair Housing Acts declare that it is a national policy to ensure equal opportunities in housing. And whereas April has been traditionally designated as Fair Housing Month in the United States. Now therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim the month of April as Fair Housing Month in the City of Somerton and do hereby urge all citizens of this community to comply with the letter and the spirit of the Fair Housing Law.
Thank you. Is anybody here from the?
Good evening, Vice Mayor, council members, Yolanda Galindo. I'm here on behalf of the City of Somerton and Housing America. And City of Somerton is a recipient of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through their CDBG funds is required to pass on an annual basis the proclamation for Fair Housing Month and also the resolution affirmatively further for housing in the City of Somerton.
Thank you. We don't have them. Okay. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
Thank you.
You want to take a picture, Jasmine?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Moving on to 6 consent agenda. Does council wish to remove or discuss any item on the consent agenda, which is the approval of minutes for February 18, 2025 and March 4th of 2025 and February 2025 check register?
Vice Mayor, I'm gonna, the check register.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and discuss that? We can just approve everything together.
I have 2 questions, and maybe you won't be able to answer today, but Z-Trends,
Excuse me, Vice Mayor,
Please.
if we can go ahead, if you're going to pull that agenda item, if we can go ahead and approve the consent agenda, and then we can move this agenda to a new business.
Move the check register.
The check
to new
register, yes,
business?
please.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the approval of minutes for February 18th and March 4th of 2025.
So move, Vice Mayor.
It was moved by
Second.
Councilman Galindo, second by Councilman Roldan. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposes? Motion carries. We're gonna move 6.2 to new business, which is a check register. So we're gonna continue with 7.1, which are the presentations. Discussion of all matters relating to the City of Parks and Recreation Department regarding the city operational projects and capital improvement for the next 5-year cycle.
Good evening, Mayor and or Vice Mayor and Council. James Jones, Parks and Rec Director. I am joined tonight by Rodney Reinhardt, Park Supervisor in this presentation. Over the course of the last year, the city manager, Park Supervisor, and myself did an audit of our parks, fields, and facilities to come up with a 5-year capital improvement plan, as well as a 5-year city operational project plan. While we're going to present the 5-year CIP plan tonight, in the agenda packet, I have provided the 5-year COP plan as well. This presentation, in which the department is looking for direction from council on priorities to establish an organized plan for projects and that meets the city's needs. I also want to note that this plan will need to be accomplished through the help of grants, sponsorships, partnerships, and outside funding sources. The next page, please. I will go through each of the areas audited and findings, and then at the end of the presentation, the department recommended 5-year plan. I'll go a lot slower than last time. The Joe Munoz Park, the splash pads need equipment repair, the shade structure reposition for actual shade allowance, and a fence around for the splash pad for the off season and maintenance needs to keep the children out there and safe. Irrigation. It is believed that it is the original irrigation right now, and with the installation of the pond, the basketball court, skate parks, that has cut the valves or cut valves wires and eliminated valves and modified sprinklers where it is not efficient for coverage any longer. So we would need to replace that. Ramada A should be replaced with a large Ramada and a newer design to keep the birds from nesting in it, and installation of a full inclusive playground. The big thing is when you look at inclusion, the big inclusion is not for just one type of kid, it's for the entire family. So this provides brothers and sisters able to play with each other no matter what their abilities or needs are. If you have any questions, I want to slow down and make sure I answer any questions you might have in each project.
Vice Mayor, I have a question. When you mentioned full inclusive playground,
Yes.
in the past, I asked about children with disabilities to be able to play in our parks. I had been told that due to what's the word I'm looking for? Liabilities, we were not able to proceed with that. What has changed? Have we consulted with legal?
I honestly think if you look at all the parks being designed and built, they're all inclusive playgrounds within them. I think it's a national change in kind of the idea of what we should provide our residents. I don't think the liabilities anymore, because you got the surface material that will be, covered, everything that the insurance company is going to need with surface material, the height of the playground equipment to the ground, all that's being covered when the design of these inclusive playgrounds. So I think just the overall time lapse, I don't know when the last time you talked to them is, this conversation came up, but I think the overall scope and understanding of inclusive playgrounds and the more public knowledge on it and why it's important, I think that's really the only thing that's changed. As long as you follow the guidelines and the playground guidelines and the safety guidelines, it's going to be covered in our city insurance plan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Vice
Next.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, James, I see that the pricing that you have listed on your slide, how much of it is from the city, or is any of this outside monies or grant monies that you're planning on acquiring?
So when Rodney and myself put this together, we went out and got quotes for right now. Now, as you have seen in the last part of this presentation, we'll have the 5-year plan out. The big thing to remember is these prices will probably go up as it gets away from now. As this is staying, these are just budget numbers. These are not, how are we gonna pay for this? The big thing, like I said at the beginning, is we're gonna have to do this project or do these 5 years. We're gonna need help with grants, outside funding, sponsorships.
So there's no really a true plan then, because it's great that you guys provide these numbers, but they're actually meaningless because we won't be able to. What's the timeline? You know, we want to know what's going to be done this coming year. It's great that they've been identified for the next 5 years, but historically, when during our retreat, city council provides input on a lot of these projects due to the fact that what does the community want? I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I'm glad that you guys put all this effort into identifying some of the stuff, but this might be just a partial list of what the community wants. And then that's what we need to focus on is what is the community requesting from us? And so again, all this pricing, it's kind of meaningless if you can't give me a timeline on when they're going to be completed.
Vice Mayor, if I may, Councilman Villapando, one of the things that James wanted to put together was just ideas. This has nothing to do with the budget. This is more of direction, what priorities you would like us to see to focus on. I understand about the pricing. We're just trying to give you an idea of what would cost if if funding was available. This gives us an opportunity to start looking for that. Again, these are things that we want to share with you and just get some direction of where would you like us to focus on as we move through these. There is still another presentation coming budget-wise on our CIPs. This is kind of an overall of what we've kind of recognized or looked at. Again, this is for the community to listen to and hear and hopefully provide some input to all of you of what direction they would like to see. And this gives them an opportunity of what what internally what we're looking at and maybe and have an idea of what would come next. This is just to kind of give you what we've seen as the need. Some of it, as you can see, you'll see on the presentation, some of it's going to be adding additional items or improving additional items. But we just want you, Mayor and Council, to be aware of the different things that we're looking at. If there's something different, please bring it up and share with us. We'll be happy to look into it. Pricing wise, like I said, that's we understand. A lot of things you're going to see, it's going to add up to a lot. But the focus really is to see what ideas or projects you'd be interested in or what direction you'd like to give us.
So this is more of a list of ideas or possible projects to be just so we could keep them in back of our mind and not necessarily the actual capital improvement plan or projects, because they do have to be, first of all, they need to be approved and they have to be selected as that's the direction that we want to work towards.
Yeah, and Councilman Villapando, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, if I may. That is correct, and we apologize if the title threw everybody off. This is more of a presentation, as you just mentioned. This has nothing to do with you selecting CIPs for next year or whatever. This is more of a presentation of the overall status of our parks facilities in our city.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Go ahead, James.
Okay. Next page, please. The next park we looked at is Council Park. First thing is the pickleball courts. This is to enhance the community's activity as well as the recreation programming for adults and kids. These are huge across the country, so it's a common trend that everyone's looking at right now. A couple of inclusive playground equipment for family use, because we do have our events there. It'd be nice to have a couple pieces so that everyone can kind of entertain their children, and we can probably get more time at the park during our events. Sorry, the new drainage system to feed into the retention basin instead of the walkways in the path. So right now, the current drainage system shoots straight to the fields, and it wets the sidewalk. The police chief has brought it to my attention that gets slick, and that's a danger. So what we want to do is kind of make sure the water goes directly into the retention basin instead of just creating a slip hazard and things like that. Fencing, we do want to put a taller modern fence around Council Park. Right now we got about a 2.5, 3 foot fence. Kids can climb over that trip. It's kind of a safety hazard. We really want to just modernize the fence and keep the water off it so it doesn't rust. So we're going to kind of have when we design it, we're going to make sure that there's leniency so that it can last over time. Next page, or unless there's any questions. Sorry. Okay. Next page is about dog park. The big thing is with the new development coming in that area, it's going to push the traffic through that area, and just to create a safer place to park, we want to just include a pull-in parking rather than street parking. We're also, there's some in the COP, you'll see some different changes to design the dog park a little more like 4 areas, a little more modernized. But like I said, we're just going to concentrate on the big projects. Any questions? Okay, next page. Centennial Park. There's 2 things. There's the installation of a restroom, kind of like the one at PROCLAMATION. The goal behind that is that we are with the residents that go over there and they have events, they have to rent the porta potty, and we have to arrange the delivery and pickup for that. This would allow a restroom to be over there. Also, the museum project. Right now it's unknown. The numbers that I got from an architect and engineering was about it's about $400 a square foot to renovate that area and create the museum. And that's not even including the exhibits and things like that. That's just design and kind of transformation that those existing facilities into a museum. Any questions?
Vice Mayor, if I may, James. And I just want to point out at Centennial Park, we are fencing it in. We are looking at having that park be also like an area that people can rent, do their anniversaries, even weddings, just different things with the improvements that we're doing to Centennial Park. We hope it's a venue where people can go take pictures. So we're working on that to make that more appealing, especially with the lighting, the fencing, and the green areas and the lights. So, you know, it's not used for our special events, but actually community members could rent that for different parties, and it could actually be rented out individually because of the fencing and be closed off for private events.
Is there any questions? Okay, next page. Paracone Park is the next thing. We just got the phase 2 plans, which is the lights. You'll see the price of that. That's Musco Lighting gave us that quote. They're our light provider for Joe Munoz and JCC Park, as well as Council Park. We had another quote. It's about $100,000 more. So that's pretty accurate. And then the other thing we would like to add is the stadium seating with ADA accountability, creating a road down that they can walk down and access the seating. And there's other plans of fencing and items like that we'd like to do to ensure that the balls don't fall into Cesar Chavez or Toro Avenue. There's some improvements that we would like to do there as far as a Ramada in the middle as well. Any questions? The community center CIP. It's important that I note that the community center is currently being rented 35 to 38 times on average in the course of a year for the weekend. Due to that, the floor has been there's slippery spots on the floor, so we need to resurface the floor. Installing a kitchen area would keep the food in a kitchen, not on that floor. It'd protect the floor for longevity. And the other item is repairing the welcome sign out front and making sure we can advertise our special events or our leagues, our activities for the citizens to see. Also with that area getting developed, it'd be good to have that sign out there, so because there will be a lot of traffic. Is there any questions? Okay, next page. The youth center, it's currently going to be used 6 days a week. The only really repair that we see here that would be a big CIP is just replacing the exterior bottom where it's rusted and removing the grass from the building, adjusting the sprinkler heads, and installing a new signage so that it's more welcoming. That's any questions? The cultural center. We would like to point out that our cultural center is our busiest building as far as our recreation department. Not only does it get used 5 days a week for our activities, it also is rented 45 times over the course of the year, like on the weekends. With that being said, we want to recommend that we kind of do an overhaul. And we have some pricing for this. Let me get it. It totals about $85,000 to $100,000 depending on the vendor. This would be replacing everything from replacing the roof, which is currently needs to be replaced, to HVAC, which are about 15 to 20 years old, the bathroom floor, the floor throughout the building, the lighting, the window treatments, the exterior signage, the wall repair, adding a adult changing table to the handicap restroom, just an overhaul. And the big thing with this that me and Rodney and my staff would like to point out, this is the busiest building we have. This is the most busy building that is in use. And we want to, if we're going to do this, we'd like to do it all at once so that it can be out of service for like 6 weeks rather than doing a little project, and having it last, out of service for 3 to 4 months while we're doing it, like periodically. Any questions on this?
Vice Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
The only problem that I see doing this whole thing at once is that it does bring in the fact that you have to make it ADA compliance. Now, one thing I would like to know, and hopefully before we get to some of these projects that we're requiring to do ADA compliance because they're major renovations, is if staff can keep track of how many requests that they've asked for, like changing tables and or just uses of equipment that are identified in the ADA. That way we could keep track and make sure that it's really a necessity because of it's driven by the need.
Thank
You're right.
you.
Sorry, I'm writing this down. Any other questions? I will get that information to you, Councilman. Okay, senior center. The big thing that we want to talk about is the accessibility to the building. Currently, we drop them off in the parking lot. They walk between cars to get to the sidewalk. What we're looking at is putting a drop off on Bingham and have them be able to walk straight in from the Bingham. So we'll have to add a entryway that goes both ways in the front of the senior center. Like I said, that's just accessibility. It provides our buses driving through a parking lot, our seniors walking through the parking lot. This just helps ease of transport into the senior center. The other thing I want to say is the dining hall expansion. We're currently rated for 50-person capacity. And on our special events, we're way over that. We're 60 or 70. So it's a project that really needs to be looked at. It's something that we're gonna have to do in collaboration with Housing America and the senior center. The numbers I got was about $500 per square foot, and that includes engineering, architectural, and everything. So we'll have to decide. The big goal is with that expansion, we can also expand the pantry area and be able to handle more seniors. As our development grows, our senior population will also grow. So it's important that we plan for the future and make sure that that is a welcoming place for our seniors. Any questions?
Vice Mayor?
Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Yeah, James, maybe it's time for us to reconsider and having our own site because we keep investing. You're probably not familiar, but we spend a lot of our CDBG money, I believe, but it was a substantial amount in order to build a portion of that senior center. But I think if we're looking to expand and spend city funds on property that's not ours, we should at least start considering having our own site in our own property instead of spending city funds on somebody else's property and then increasing their net worth instead of the city's.
I concur. I was gonna make the same comment. Thank you. So please make a note of that. He has a point.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. The last, or we would like to talk about City Hall. City Hall, while it's new, we are going through some normal wear and tear and some other things that that are just happening. For instance, repairing and replacing the AC in the server room. Also, our AC units they were originally from Tran sold it to Samson. It's hard to work on. Not very many companies want to work on those. It's becoming expensive. That might be something we want to look at in the future to replace a more current system that is easily accessible to our HVAC companies around. Replace the water heater. We have a smaller water heater. We want to look at something like hot water or water on demand. Janitorial storage system as our janitorial. So we don't have a lot of storage, so we want to make sure that that's organized. Replace the tables with the Somerton design logo, the break room, things like for our employees. Right now we have like the old wooden chairs or tables that the trim is falling down. We want to just refurbish those. And the major thing that would be a CIP project is the generator for City Hall. As you guys know, when the power goes out to City Hall, and it kind of shuts us down as workers. We can't serve our residents. So we really want to make sure that we have that generator so we can continue to serve our residents if any emergencies happen. Any questions on this? Okay, next page. So since the last time I tried to give this presentation, I have talked to J2 and for the master plan of Somerton Park. They actually gave me some prices for these items. For instance, the pond will be in 2 phases for a total of 5.4 million. The community center, we're looking at 2 phases, a design phase and a build phase. That's about $4 to $5 million. The amphitheater will be about $4 to $6 million. And like I said, this is all like going off the master plan that we have. We can always adjust this as we decide what we want to do more over there. The playground and landscaping areas would be about 7.5 to 9 million. The parking lot's 1.4, and the pool complex, because it's an aquatic center, it can be expensive at like 25 to 30 million. So like I said, this is just giving you guys kind of an idea of what this would cost at the current level that you guys want to build Somerton Park. As we go through the planning stage, you guys might decide this way or that way, but I think it's important that you had these numbers, and they were just provided to me 2 weeks ago, right after our presentation. So I wanted to make sure I give them, and I can update the presentation, give it to Louis, he can forward it to you, just so you guys can kind of be aware of it. Is there any questions on this slide? And then this is just like the city manager has said, we're just getting numbers down, hard numbers. This is nowhere near finalized or looking for approval on this. It's just for you guys to have the information, kind of think about it, listen to our residents who will reach out to you, and kind of get your ideas. Not a lot of this will depend on funding sources. For instance, our grant writer, she may use this list when she comes to grants and apply for them. I know we were talking about, well, where is this funding coming? I think a lot of things that's important for you guys to know, and Chona can back me up on this, is a lot of grants want you to be shovel ready, which means you have the plans in place, you have the understanding of how much it costs, you are ready to move forward on the project. They don't want you to just come up with an idea and then plan it from there and apply and then plan the project. They want you to. So with creating this list, that gives my team, my department, an opportunity to start planning these projects and coming out with a budget. And yeah, we'll have to update the budget every year as the cost either go up or down. But it's important that if we're going to look for grants, that we have a solid list. And let's say something's you guys decide it's not a priority, but a grant comes across and we identify it. We're ready to submit those plans and get the grant, which is ahead of a lot of municipalities, because we'll be shovel ready and we might be able to pull a grant out early. So that's the main point of this list, is giving you guys the ideas, giving you guys kind of an audit of where our facilities and parks and fields are, and kind of if you guys come across something, you guys kind of can bring it to our attentions and we can move forward on it. But like I said, we're gonna try to, once this list is solidified or we got an idea, our goal is to start putting together those little budgets. And then when we come across a grant or an opportunity to get an outside funding source, we can apply for it and be ready to apply for it and be ahead of the game rather than always playing behind and trying to catch up. So I don't know if you have any questions on this. Like I said, I'll update it with the new numbers I've gotten since the last presentation, and the city manager can give you that presentation. Everything left on this is the COPs. I'll be happy to come back and present on that if you want, under your direction. But at this point, Rodney's here. If you have any questions for Rodney or myself, or if you have any suggestions that you haven't already said, please let me know. And
Vice Mayor, if I may, I just want to kind of explain something. The CIPs, of course, are capital improvement projects that we work with the mayor and council to give us direction moving forward. So the COPs, those are capital operational projects. These are internal projects that we look at to help build our efficiency and service to our residents. So we look at those different things, and I've shared this with the council on the updates. These are some of the things that we're looking at to better improve our level of service. But again, these are things that we use on our operational side that we put into the budget on the operations. But I just wanted to be able to, and not just Parks and Rec, but all departments, well, the majority of the departments have these COPs. These are different projects that I assign or I work with each department director to develop. So I just want to kind of explain to you what the COPs are.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I have a comment, James. Thank you very much for your presentation. There's a lot to do and there's a lot to fix and there's a lot to take into consideration. I just hope that you and administration have a plan in place. You said that the grant writer is going to be looking at these and applying for grants, but I also want you that once the grant writer does, what's going to be the priority? What grants is she going to look for? And we talk about the community center. Is that going to take precedence, or is that going to be first then the inclusion park? Or what I want to see the inclusion park in every park. So but that's my priority, or what I want. Obviously we have to meet with council. I just wish that we do have a plan, and that you come up with a plan to see what is the priority of this great $7 million, $8 million list that you have.
Vice Mayor, if I may. Yes, there's definitely, when discussing these projects, we've looked at funding, partnerships, and collaborations with local companies, private, and also other groups. But I think we're going to put that list together and work on a plan. But at the end of the day, I think it's, we look for the council to give us direction of what they'd like us to focus on. Again, grant funding is very, it's depending on the availability of the fund and what's it used for. And those we'll look at and see when the opportunities arise and if we're funded. But this is a work in progress, and I think we're going to work very hard on making sure, not just for Parks and Rec, but all the other departments that we're looking at what the possibilities are, but also getting priorities from you so that we know what to really focus on. If a grant comes up that we're able to get these other things, well, that's great. And we'll bring that up to mayor and council, but we'll definitely work on that plan.
But, James made a great point where he said that we have to be shovel ready. So this huge list that you have here, that's what I said, we need to look at the priorities, which of those are going to be shovel ready, because you don't have all of those as shovel ready. So, your plan has to match what your shovel ready is going to be, right? Okay, that was only my comment. Go ahead.
But Vice Mayor, that's where the direction from you guys come. When you guys set your priorities or your focus areas, my team will then set our focus areas and getting those grant shovel ready in that order, and put the ones that maybe need to be pushed back, and we'll make sure that we're working through those. I want to say that Chona's been an asset to helping me understand shovel ready, get it ready, scope of work. She says this all the time to me. And I'm fine with that. And Rodney's can attest to that. We're way better off with Chona, and Chona will help us through this process. But really what we need is really some direction from you immediately or soon. And like I said, it doesn't have to be tonight. It can be, you can go home, you can look at this, you can think about it, you can ask some residents. That's really what we're looking for, is just a little direction and priorities, and letting us go forward. And I'll keep you updated with the monthly reports on where we are with a lot of stuff, just so you guys know, like, are we 50% shovel ready? Are we 100% shovel ready?
Go ahead.
Louis, question for you. Are we meeting again just to discuss on the CIPs?
Yes, Councilman Roldan, we will have a CIP meeting for our budgets, and that's it's in the planning. We're also going to be trying to meet with you individually or in groups to kind of give you ideas of where we're at, and then you can share those ideas with us so that we can start prioritizing and working on that list. So there'll be definitely more discussions. This was just kind of an overview of some of the things that we were looking at.
Thank you.
And another comment, just an idea, maybe at our next larger community event, like 4th of July, have your team have a table out there for the community to see what do they want? What does the community want? The majority of our community goes to our 4th of July event. Maybe you can get some ideas there. If you have your own table with pictures and what else, ask the community yourself instead of sending a survey or a link or something like that. Talk to the community. That's where you'll see them at. That's just my opinion. But thank you so much for your time, James. And your team, Rodney, thank you.
Thank you.
With that, presentations are done. We're going to move to new business. I'm going to bring back the 6.2, the check register, into the new business section. So Councilwoman Marta Gonzalez, can you please reiterate what you mentioned?
I just had a question on Z-Trends. We paid $54.78.54. Wanted to know what we used them for. Also, Alluvial Media. I noticed we used them in January, and then again this month. Well, January and then again February. My concern with Alluvial, and I've mentioned it before, just making sure that we're doing, procurement. Are we bidding? Are we just picking anybody out of, because we've done, business with them before? So.
Vice Mayor, Council, Chona Medell, Finance Director. On the Z-Trends check, that is a $5,000 purchase for the soccer uniforms. And you can ask any director, they will attest that I do not pass anything through without their procurement process. Our procurement policy is $1,000, and they have to get 3 verbal quotes. Therefore, I make them write it all down, get it in writing. So you can ask any one of them that, yes, the procurement policy is followed to the T. As far as the second one, I didn't get a chance to look it up because I didn't have the detail. But if you can give me the check number, I can look it up right now and have that answer for you by the end of the meeting.
I don't have the check number, I just have the amount.
Okay, yeah, I can look at that.
Vice Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
On the second one, which is from the advertising, I believe, if memory serves me correct, it's somebody's helping us advertising the events and stuff like that. Shouldn't we have a vendors list because it's an ongoing, I mean, we have quite a few events. As a matter of fact, even in the golf tournament, I heard it over the radio this morning on the golf tournament for the seniors, and I'm wondering if this particular company was hired to do the advertising for it. And historically, we've never hired anybody to do the advertising for us. We pretty much did word of mouth, and we hit up like Z93, Jennifer Blackwell's community happenings. And so if we're going to be using a company to do that, we should have either a vendors list or put it out to bid on a yearly basis instead of trying to circumvent the procurement policy by just hiring them on a event basis, because we all know that this is an ongoing and reoccurring cost for each event that we're doing.
Councilman Villalpando, I can't attest to that company that you're stating is what was advertised for the golf tournament. I know that a lot of the advertising in the media, James has worked really hard as far as Stephanie is concerned, that they get in kind. So it's a trade-off. There's no cash out of the city's pocket on a lot of that stuff. So, but for this particular question that you have, I can look it up and then I'll give you the
Check
answer.
number 1112.
1112. Okay,
Thank you, Chona.
you're welcome.
With that said, I need a motion to approve the check register for the month of February 2025.
So moved.
Motion was
Second.
made by Councilman Roldan, second by Councilman Villalpando. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposes? Motion carries. 8.1, discussion and possible action to approve the reallocation of funds from the fiscal year 2025 capital improvement plan budget line item for the water treatment plant number 2 media replacement to the underground APS power lines at Centennial Park project.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Council. Charles Gutierrez, Public Works Director. Well, Public Works is requesting the project reallocation of the budgeted amount of $100,000 from the FY25 capital improvement plan, which was 507153, which was designated for the proactive purchase of the water plant media replacement, which is needed to be completed by FY27. We're requesting that this amount be transferred to the underground APS power line Centennial project, which took priority due to an APS transformer failure affecting the water plant's electrical grid. The underground APS power lines at Centennial Park Power project along Somerton Avenue includes conduit installation for the electrical upgrade at the old jail museum, which involves a new 75 kW transformer, which D&H will handle the transformer installation while Public Works will manage the conduit work. A new meter head cabinet is required due to asbestos conduit issues that APS will not touch those conduits, and D&H Electrical has already quoted the electrical workout. The chief water chief operator has delayed the media project for the water plant for 1 year. Therefore, the Public Works Department is requesting the funds be used for the current underground APS power lines at Centennial Park project expenses. The total project at this point right now, APS and the Centennial project coming in at $100,963. The total financial impact is, there will be no financial impact as both projects are already in the FY 25 CIP budget. Staff is requesting the reallocation of funds from the water plant meter replacement to the underground APS power lines at Centennial Park project to address priority needs. The budgeted amount, FY 25 was 10,000, CIP water plant media for FY 25 at 100,000, CIP underground APS power lines at Centennial project. The financial statement, they're requesting $100,000 of 507153 FY 25 CIP water plant meter replacement project be reallocated to the APS underground power lines at Centennial Park project 2040-01. This would deplete the FY 25 CIP water meter replacement project to $0 and increase the FY CIP underground project at APS power line Centennial Park project to 110,000. Tonight, we are asking for a motion to approve the reallocation of funds from the FY 25 capital improvement budget line item for the water treatment plant number 2 meter replacement to the underground APS power lines at Centennial Park project.
Mayor, if I may, Vice Mayor.
Go ahead.
Charles, is the funding that you're looking to transfer, is it from, it's from the wastewater, but is that directly tied to the fees?
This is a water treatment at the water plant itself for the water media.
Yeah, but those are enterprise funds. And so what I'm trying to figure out, if it's enterprise funds or enterprise funds or general or just.
Councilmember Virapando,
Yes.
those funds are tied to a CIP project that was off of general funding.
Okay. Okay, so it's general funding to general funding then.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was.
You're welcome.
That we were good. Thank you, Chona. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion as presented by Charles.
A motion was made by Councilman Roldan,
Second.
second by Councilman Villalpando. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposes? Motion carries. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
8.2, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-008, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Somerton, Yuma County, Arizona, adopting a fair housing policy, making known its commitment to the principle of fair housing and describing actions it shall undertake to affirmatively further fair housing.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Council, Chona Medell, Finance Director. As a recipient of the Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG grant, the Arizona Department of Housing requires the city of Somerton to formally proclaim April as Fair Housing Month, which was proclaimed. Additionally, we are required to adopt a resolution establishing a fair housing policy. These two actions are a part of the annual compliance process for all CDBG recipients. Tonight, staff is requesting a motion to approve resolution 2025-008 to fill this requirement.
The motion to approve.
So move, Vice Mayor. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Galindo, second by Councilman Roldan. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Anybody opposes? Motion carries. Moving on to summary of current events.
Good evening, Vice Mayor. First, we have Terry Trujillo, Human Resources.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, council members. I just want to let you know that Human Resources will be having their wellness fair and biometric screening for all employees on April 24th from 8 a.m. to noon at the Somerton Community Center. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, if I may.
Please.
Just wanted to add that Mayor and Vice Mayor and council members are invited to join us and be part of this. So if you'd like to, I'll have Andrea follow up, and if you'd like to make an appointment or like to attend, please let us know.
Thank you.
Next, we have James Jones, Parks and Rec.
James Jones, Parks and Rec Director. First thing is Somerton Wrestling Program will be kickoff, be held on a camp this Saturday from 9 to 12 at the Youth Center. Then next week we'll actually start our regular programming. It'll be Tuesday and Thursday, elementary to middle school classes from 6 to 8:30. And then the high school wrestling will go on Saturdays from 11 to 3. Paracone Park opening will be next Tuesday, April 8th at 6 p.m. We would like you all to attend. Mickey Rogers from the Arizona Parks and Trails will be there. And it'll be a good time. We'll have some of the youth soccer kids there. We would love for you guys to come. The last thing is Arbor Day celebration will be April 24th at Paracone Park at 10 a.m. 9 a.m. Sorry. Please see if you can come to that. We're going to have the local high school here, and we're just going to have them plant trees at Paracone, kind of adding to the safety issues with the tree, with the creating a barrier between the fields and the streets. So thank you very much.
Saul Arbor, Community Development.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. Saul Albor, Community Development Director. I would like to inform you that the Paracone Commerce Center subdivision has broken ground and is now officially under construction. This is the commercial subdivision located on the northeast corner of Main Street and Cesar Chavez. GCE is the general contractor of the project, and you'll see their equipment in a big water truck out there. Exciting stuff. And then also tonight, we're able to confirm the first tenant that's going to be going into the Paracone Commerce Center subdivision. That will be Chevron, and that'll be right on the corner of Main Street and Cesar Chavez Avenue. Brand new Chevron gas station coming to the city of Somerton in the coming months. Hopefully, we will receive the plans and construction nonstop for a couple months now until next year. It's going to look very good.
I was expecting another tenant, but that's okay.
Hopefully, in the coming months, we'll be
Jasmine.
able to confirm more and more for the remaining lots. Thank you.
We're working on that, Vice Mayor. And last, we have Charles Gutierrez, Public Works.
Vice Mayor, Council, Charles Gutierrez, Public Works. This past weekend, we participated in the South County cleanup. 2 PD, 8 explorers. Public Works had 7 staff. Total amount out there that we collected was 2 roll-offs full of trash that was smashed, and 1 roll-off with who knows how many tires, and about 100 extra tires were left on the ground out there. We did probably twice as much as the people in San Luis did. We did way a lot more cleanup, so hoorah to everybody here in Somerton. On Saturday, April 12th, the city of Yuma will be conducting the household hazardous waste at 1473 South 2nd Avenue. It is open to all Somerton residents. And the last thing I do have to say is, I did forget to say this on the call to public. For Leo's 40th anniversary on Thursday, April 10th, on the backside of City Hall, we are having a lunch. It is a to-go lunch. It'll be a carne asada, taco, and beans and rice. Please come by from 10:45 to 12 o'clock. There will be a huge card for you to sign for anybody from the city of the council or city staff. Thank you.
Andrea, can you please send us a reminder?
We'll have it on the invite. So
Thank you.
that's all we have, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Villalpando? Councilwoman
I
Gonzalez?
don't have anything,
Oh.
Vice Mayor. Thank you. Sorry, I was on mute.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gonzalez?
We have the next vaccine clinic, April 10th at the Cultural Center. Same time, 3 to 6. I'd like to thank Housing America for their soccer pole donations for Paracone Park. Also, thank Judge Toric Valenzuela for her time here in the city. I saw her earlier, but it was 2 years, I believe, that she
Yes,
was with us.
that's
So,
correct.
thank you, Judge Toric. And I just have a quick comment, I guess. I know everybody knows that we have a huge cat problem.
Huge
My
what?
cat problem. Our, and I've heard it from other areas and residents too. I don't know if we're planning to come up with something here.
So, Vice Mayor, if I may. So next meeting, we have actually the Humane Society going to be presenting
Oh, okay.
to mayor and council updates on their services. And I think it's a great opportunity that they will be able to answer your questions more directly. So we have that coming up for the next meeting, just to let you know.
My truck has become a victim.
Yes, but you will have that opportunity so you get better understanding of the program and any questions you'd like to ask.
Okay. Councilman Galindo.
No, nothing. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Roland.
Just, we had a meeting the other day with the county and for the library, so, well, by you and James, you represent us well. And if you guys need any help, with legal cooking or something, James, I'll be eating at the same time.
I attended the Greater Days parade and event. It was great music, very great music. Thank you for all, James, your team, Jasmine, and everybody else that was there assisting Parks and Rec with this great event. Stephanie, I'll be sending over to Louis my observations and opinions. I think we need to work on something to make it a little bit better. I know, and I've noticed in a few events that it's declined and we just need to work. I know that the superintendent of the Somerton School Superintendent came up to me and said, that he is going to meet with James or would like to meet with James because he has a lot of ideas that maybe we can incorporate the school district together and to promote it. And I remember when I was a teacher there, we used to get little flyers and that's what we gave out students. And instead of just relying on social media. And so he said that he would like that opportunity to meet with you to come up with some ideas, which I thought was great. But it was a great event, great music, great bands. So thank you so much for your hard work. I also attended Congressman Grijalva's funeral. I want to thank the city for including me and representing. I went with Louis, and of course, Councilwoman Gonzalez was there as his aide. But I also, again, want to send my condolences to the family and his staff. I also want to thank the Housing America for their donation for the senior center. And also I spoke to Judge Torek outside as well, and I want to thank her for her service and her dedication. Her heart is with Somerton and will always be. She did mention that, she is available if we need her and she's just a phone call away. So I really thank her for that. I also want to bring up the Centennial Park. I just noticed that we need to, in my opinion, kind of work on the upkeep of the overgrown shrubs and starting to look a little messy. And so to me, it's a very important park because it has our water tower there. And so that was the purpose, when we put in all those trees and the shrubs for it to look pretty, but it's kind of getting a little overgrown. So just my observation. That's all I have. We have two items for executive session. One is legal advice and discussion and instruction to the city attorney regarding the rental agreement with A5350 Zip LLC located at 346 West Main Street. And also we have for discussion and consideration of employment of a new municipal court judge and to obtain legal advice regarding the appointment process as necessary. So we're going to be meeting in executive session. We're just going to break for about 10 minutes and then we will come back. Thank you.
Do we need a motion?
I need a motion to enter into executive session.
So move.
And a motion was made by Councilwoman Gonzalez, second by Councilman Galindo. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposes? Motion carries. 10 minutes. Motion to adjourn.
So move, Mayor, Vice Mayor.
Second.
A motion was made by Councilman Galindo, second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposes? Meeting ends at 8:57. Thank you.